I've said it before, but if you and your partner both committed to 30 days of positivity to where the only core rule is everything you do and say or how you respond to each other has to always be led with love, it'll be a game changer for your relationship, I promise. Now, obviously, this only works if you both agree and decide to do this, right? Which means you both put down on paper a statement collectively. Here's what our goal is, being positive, and here's why. Give yourself the reason why you want to do this, what it's going to do for your relationship, and then put it somewhere you both can see it. That way it becomes tangible and you're both accountable to it. And that way you also could help reel each other in to stay on page, stay on task whenever one of you notices the other person slipping out of that and being negative, right? Not leading with love, because you're not going to be perfect at it, right? You're building a muscle. It's not something you just have because you both decided you're going to do it, right? So you both have to be willing to want to do that. And if you both love each other, why would your partner not be open to that? If they're not, that's some flags you might be wanting to think about, right? But the bigger piece is this. Whenever you go through some conflict situation, butting of heads with your partner, this is when it's most important to lead with love, even when you feel offended and maybe rightfully so, by something they've done, something they said to you, some way they've, disrespected you, or lack of courtesy, or something that was hurtful, whatever it was. Leading with love with the way you respond to them is everything, because you have to recognize this person loves you, you love them. I mean, if you don't genuinely think they do love you, then why are you with that person, right? That's a whole nother topic. But if you can agree that you guys both love each other, then in the heart of hearts, your partner would never intentionally do something to be harmful to you. The only way this usually happens to us, and we feel this way, is if, one, our partner is doing something that their perception, they don't see it as something that would be harmful to you, right? So they're not aware that it would actually do that, right? And they did it unknowingly. Or two, they have an internal struggle of their own because there's something they're not healthy with, or they're still working through in their own right, to where they're acting towards you in an unhealthy manner because they trying to offer you something that they don't have, right? So it comes out in a messed up way. Either way, the point is, it's not about you. And so often when we have something that happens that we feel offended by, that our partner's done or whatever, we feel and take it as a personal attack. But really, it wasn't about you. It's really about them and either their lack of awareness or their lack of ability because of their internal hurts and wounds. So how can responding in a negative way ever get you positive results with someone that is struggling to get something with you, right? It's not going to help you. You're just adding fuel on the fire. Now, look, you can always get a result by responding in a negatively charged way or being proactive to go approach someone in a negatively charged way. But you can scare them into the result you want, right? You can lash out and be really upset. And they're like, oh my gosh. But understand that if they start doing the right thing now, it's not because they just had this big learning lesson on, oh my gosh, I've offended or hurt my partner. What they're doing is avoiding re-experiencing a painful event, right? So not learning the core reason why it mattered to you a lot. What they're really doing is protecting their own peace. You want them to learn that what they've done impacted you and why it impacted you. But you don't want to reinforce, hey, yeah, I get that you hurt me. I get that I hurt you, but really, I'm just going to avoid doing this again so I don't have to see that again. So I didn't really get the full message. And that's the best way that down the road, another circumstance comes up in a different kind of wrapping, and they wind up doing something that leads back to the same reason why you felt offended in the first place from the last situation. But they didn't get the message because you responded through negativity instead of something that was more positive. Now, you guys are going to be perfect at this, and that's okay. You don't have to be. But it's all about how consistent can you be in the side of the tracks that you want to. Because when you are, it makes dealing with conflict a way more inviting thing to do. See, our brains are designed to move away from pain. And if one of you guys have to deal with conflict, it's always a painful experience. It makes you more reluctant to do so. And this is how people don't speak up about things, because they're like, if I speak up, it's going to be this whole daunting thing and it's not comfortable. You're built to stay in your comfort zone. So it's so important to practice the habit of leading with love and being positive through the toughest moments. It's easy to be positive in the fun moments, but it's when things are hitting the fan is where you really need to pull on that positivity as best as possible, so that whenever things come up in the future, you feel more optimistic and you're encouraged to want to step into the conflict to deal with it instead of letting it linger and become a bigger wound later, right? And if you really want to take this to the next level, try doing this for not just 30 days, but 45. Because see, 30 days gets the pattern going for you. But you really solidify that habit, with 2 more weeks added to that so it can set in and become the new momentum and the new pattern and the new wave, right? You guys take that on and do that together and watch how the ball game changes for your relationship. Let's get it.